Hey, it's the season again. Sleep that bears. Merry Christmas. It's almost time. And at the time of this recording, it is Christmas Eve. And so, I will be putting you into one of my dreams where you happen to be at a Christmas party where things happened. So if you're down to experience it, this is the video. And so you're going to enjoy this Christmas with ASMR tingles and objects for tingles. Alright, so without further ado, I'll be putting you into this dream. So hop in your beds, and now it's time for me to send you into this dream. So here we go. You're now dreaming. You had a Christmas party, and it's very, 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 very exciting. Super, super exciting. And you know your friends will be there, and I know you know that it's going to be at your friend's place. So if you don't have any friends in reality, just assume that you have friends at your dream self. So you arrive at the Christmas party. You already see those beautiful Christmas lights that are shining outside. And you peek inside the house. There's this beautiful Christmas tree sitting at the living room with all those presents. And you are already having so much fun. You got to watch Elf. Very nice movie. And then The Grinch. You watch different kinds of movies, binge watching left and right with a Christmas tree beside. And after that, you get to eat lots of cookies, beautiful cookies, tasty, delicious. Also gingerbread man cookies. You couldn't stop eating. You could not stop and resist the Christmas spirit. And you're just going to get started. You have just begun. And that means, even though half the party has happened, the special part has yet to happen. Alright, so you then get to have loads and loads of Christmas desserts. Chocolate cakes, a chocolate bar, dark chocolate. And oh boy, you've gotten a few bars in an instant. And you and your friends have decided to drink some beer and soda as you enjoy yourselves. But then, there goes the part. It's time to open your gifts. Your friends have given you a gift, and you have also gave them a gift. So you decide to open the gift your friend gave you. And the gift that you got was a beautiful, beautiful PS5. It is so big. looks bigger than your PC, but actually it's just an illusion. You can see the packaging that says PS5 in like a science font. And oh boy, you can't wait to get your hands on that PlayStation 5. And then you gave your friend something, and then he opens it. Oh boy, it is a $50 Fortnite card. Oh my gosh, your friend is so happy. He cannot wait. He could barely wait to spend that money on V-Bucks and get his favorite skin and then wreck all of the opponents on Battle Royale. Alright. And before you know it, you had opened all of the gifts at this so-called exchange gift. At this party, there was just like one friend and then a few others that you don't really know much. Maybe it's your friend's friend. They have shared gifts, but you remember those, the ones in particular. And then the party is still not over, and you decide to binge watch more Christmas movies, some horror, and as you bring in the horror movies, oh boy, more drinks, more of the booze. You do some drinking, and you don't know much what else happened at the party besides you watching those horror movies, up to the point that you might get scared at night. But you do remember one moment. The next moment that you remember is your friend then says to you, "I'm gonna go sleep at the bunk bed. I am getting tired." So there is a bunk bed at one of your friend's bedroom, a bunk bed. And he decides to go sleep at the top bunk. That's kind of important. So it is no big deal. He may be a little bit overhand, like a little bit affected by the booze, drunk, and he probably drank as a result, and that what happened. And so he decides to sleep. No big of a deal. So you continue your party, and at one point you decide to take on an adventure. Apparently your friend's house is at the woods. It's more on the countryside. So you take a walk. You decide to take a little walk out of the woods, into the woods. For some reason, your friend's place is not in the city or in the suburbs. It's like in a weird, isolated place in the countryside, as I mentioned above, like a few seconds ago. And it is cold. What do you expect on a chilly Christmas Eve night? So, there are lots and tons of pine trees. Some of them even have Christmas lights shining. And at one point, you take a pause and you sit on top of a rock or a boulder, a big boulder, and you do look up in the sky. you see lots of beautiful stars. Lots of them. And at one point you see something else. You see one moon, but then you see another one. You see two moons for some reason. For some reason, you see two moons. Like houses, possibly Earth has one moon. But when you look up, there is one moon. How is this possible? How is this possible that there are two moons? Like there's one moon and there is another one. Like just a good whatever meter. Like if you bring up a ruler and extend it, that's how far apart those two moons are in your view. And so you can take a picture, and as you look at your phone, you see two moons. Two moons. It's two moons. Two moons. And so eventually you decide to take a walk back home to your friends, not home but to your friend's place. Okay? And eventually the Christmas party ends. Alright. Oh boy. Now this is where things start to get weird. Again, more weird. So you realize that the party has been long gone. And the next thing that really clicks is that the fact that your friend hasn't showed up. You tried to contact him, but no, you couldn't reach him. No text, no phone. You even dropped by to your friend's place. Still no signs of your friend. And you do realize that he's been missing for weeks. And then you start to call the police to check up on him. So the police comes and goes to your friend's house, and when they look at the room with the bunk beds, they saw something, and then once they saw it, they scream really loud, because at the top bunk of the bunk bed, there is your friend. He's here. He's dead. And you somehow look into the room. Apparently the cops had let you in that room with the very bunk bed where your friend stayed. And you see a body that looks half decomposed. His eyes are like open, not moving, and his body looks like he has shrunk, and he looked purple. It feels like he has never woken up and he passed out. At this stage, you start to feel really emotional and you start to really cry. It's really sad that your friend is gone, because in your dream world, you've been hanging out with him many times. And as of December, he happened to be drinking too much and he didn't wake up. Nobody noticed him. And so you start to grieve really deeply grieve for your friend. You start to cry every day, thinking of him. How did he end up like that? How? And it's been weeks. 2 weeks again. And at the time, you then decide to try and have a time just for you at your place, all by yourself. And you decide to game all night. One night you just came all the way, playing your favorite game endlessly, and just try and pass the grief. So you play endlessly and endlessly, and nothing has happened yet. But before you try and just try and change the game or go to sleep or do something else, you hear something. You hear a noise coming from your house. So you don't think much of it. Maybe your house is making sounds, and then you continue playing. But as you continue playing your game, you hear it again. And now you clearly hear it. It's coming from outside. And for some reason, it comes from the top of your roof. And at this point, you pause your game and you just think, oh no, maybe someone is breaking your house, is breaking into your house. And you hear it again. It's coming from the chimney, you realize. Maybe your chimney is having issues. Maybe there's someone that's trying to break in there. You have a worst case scenario coming up. Someone is going to break in. You've recently heard about these stories where people try to break into people's houses through chimneys. Your house has a fireplace, and maybe your wood has burned out. That's another thing. So you decide to try and look at the fireplace to see if it needs more wood. But as you look, nothing. You don't see anything. Alright, so no big deal. You decide to go to sleep, and after a few hours of gaming, and you sleep by 3 a.m. or something very late at night, because of the fact that things have happened cause you to stay awake late. So it's by 3 a.m. It's 3 something a.m. very late at night. You hear something again. And oh boy, maybe again it's the fireplace. And you go downstairs, and you see someone wearing red, and you do realize it is Santa. The fireplace has been put out, and you see Santa telling you that it's your friend. He is your friend. And he undresses Santa, his Santa suit. Hey, it's me, it's your friend. I am alive. And you are stunned. You are very stunned to see him alive. You thought he was dead. You clearly saw him dead on his bunk bed. And he tells you that was just a prop. It was a fake. I decided to hide out of town for a bit and surprise you. That party did not actually happen on Christmas Eve. You were just told that that party was at Christmas Eve, but in reality it was not on Christmas Eve. It was on the first week of December. and you decide to hug him, give him a big hug, and he tells you Merry Christmas. A big Merry Christmas. And you are so relieved to see him. Super relieved. And he tells you the best gift that you can have. One of the best gifts that you can have are not physical gifts, but friendship. Merry Christmas. And then after that, eventually your dream ends, and then you wake up. So, that was it for this dream imagination video. I actually had to stream on the first week of December, but I decided to leave it out, and not all of the dreams was 100% original. I kind of tweaked it to make it more Christmas themed, and I hope you do enjoy this story, and I hope you got your tingles. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It will put you on the nice list. Hopefully this makes you have an amazing holiday season, and I wish you all a Merry Christmas if you do celebrate it. Otherwise, happy holidays. And my goal is to get people to sleep, ease off your sleep debt, and pay off the rest of your balance of your sleep credit card. And so once again, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next time. Ho ho ho.